let's get straight into it, shall we? So Man United versus Liverpool is on Sunday, the something of January. So what is it? 15, 16, the 17th of January, let's say. I don't know what time it is because I couldn't care less. And it's live on Sky Sports, and you have Martin Tyler and Gary Neville probably commentating as they normally do. But yeah, just between you and I, we've had some fun conversations regarding Man United versus Liverpool over our years, and mostly during our school days as well. And it feels like a lifetime ago, but it also feels ridiculous how we used to speak so much about Man United and Liverpool. And in those days, Man United was superior. And the reason I'm wearing this specific shirt is because we got our 19th title.
And there's a reason why I'm wearing this one is because we're good now.
Exactly. And that was one where you won a couple things as well. And that's why this shirt is so iconic to me, because in year 11, 2011, we won our 19th title, and that means so much to me. And I haven't bought a shirt since, and it was fantastic. But Aminur, since the last time we've spoken properly regarding football, which I can't remember the last time when or where, how do you feel about Liverpool's chances coming up to this game?
Well, to be fair, everything was going well until Van Dijk got injured.
Yeah.
Played well. We played well after him. We coped. Then Joe Gomez got injured. Freaky little England training camp injury, which we still don't really know the details about. It was just an unfortunate collision, apparently. That's all I could hear, all I could remember from Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
So then we had to draft in Fabinho into defence.
And I have to say, he's been amazing at centre-back.
He has been.
I'm a big fan of Fabinho, but I hate the fact he's a centre-back because he looks such a natural player there. And he used to play right-back for Monaco as well, so he's done the job.
He did. So it's weird because he's such a good holding midfielder, and you wouldn't have thought he'd play as good, if not better, in a different position, which is just sitting in the heart of defence. And I was just shocked when he just filled in like there was no problem. Fabinho, not a problem. It's the injury concerns with Joel Matip that worries me. He comes in, comes out. It's like one step forward and 10 steps back with Matip.
It's like Eric Bailly. They're both made of glass, basically. They should be in that Mr. Glass film. They just smash an elbow and they're out for 6 weeks.
They're class players, class centre-backs, but they're just made of glass. Reminds me of Daniel Sturridge, Wilshere, a lot of them.
Michael Owen, unfortunately.
Michael Owen, unfortunately, yeah. So Fabinho, I thought, all right, he's slotted in well, everything's lovely now. And then Gomez, unfortunate, so we had to call in an 18-year-old little Reece Williams, who last season played for Kidderminster in non-league football. To be fair, at such a young age, he filled in the first few games, didn't look out of place. He looked like he was part of the lads, has been with the lads for the past 5 years. But it comes to a point where the experience counts, and it's been a couple of games, and he did get tested by Callum Wilson against Newcastle. It was a difficult game for him.
I have to say, is one of those underrated strikers, Callum Wilson, because I feel
Callum Wilson is quality.
There's quality. He shouldn't be at Newcastle because they don't deserve him.
He should be in a top 6 team, top 6 to 8 team at least.
Exactly.
He's strong and he's fast. So I was surprised how strong he was against us. Like, he was just shoving people out of the way. And then after that, acceleration just kicked in. And I was just like, whoa. Like, Callum Wilson, there was a reason why he got a few England call-ups and he scored a debut goal and all of that. And he was at Bournemouth. I reckon he was one of the main reasons why Bournemouth kept staying up.
No, he definitely was. He was their attacking threat. And that's probably what Newcastle's seeing him now, the fact that he will guarantee the goals. But Newcastle plays such negative 19th century football that he barely gets a touch in the game. So And saying that, he still managed to get 8 Premier League goals so far this season. So he's doing well in my fantasy team, which is all well and good. So I'm quite happy.
He's in my fantasy team now, just on my wild card.
Oh man, it's a double game week next week as well. So
double game week. Yeah.
We'll see how he does. Ah man.
Yeah.
But yeah, comparing Callum Wilson to the likes of Rashford, Martial, and Cavani, how do you reckon young Williams and Fabinho at centre back, if they are the first choice to be playing, how do you reckon they would do against them?
Young Williams would prefer to play against Martial than Cavani.
Okay, why is that?
Cavani poses an aerial threat. Though Reece Williams is quite tall, Cavani has the experience. He knows the positions to get into. He knows that he's going to target Reece Williams instead of Fabinho. Fabinho's got the experience. He's got the presence. He knows how to play dirty, when to do certain things and when not to. With young Williams, he was at Kidderminster last year, and that's non-league football, and playing your arch rivals with a top of the tree clash, it might be a bit too early for him. Which takes me to Nat Phillips now. Nat Phillips is about 23, 24 years old.
Just for us to listen, what position does he play, Phillips?
Nat Phillips plays centre-back.
Centre-back as well.
Yes, he's been at Liverpool for a while, but he never really got the opportunity due to the fact that we've had quite a few defenders. We've had our likes of Clavan, Lovren, Matip, Skirtle, who have come and gone. But Nat Phillips has finally managed to get an opportunity due to the fact that Gomez, Van Dijk have all gotten injured.
Yep.
His debut against West Ham, where he actually got the man of the match performance. But a season is a 38-game season. It's not a game. It's not 2 games. It's not a knockout game where you can just think, you know what, hopefully I can make him hopefully he just plays well for this 90 minutes. This is a long season, and this isn't a little 10 to 14-day injury for Van Dijk or Gomez. This is a serious injury. Gomez, we don't really know the extent, but with Van Dijk, we know it's an ACL, so we know they're going to be out for a long time. Nat Phillips, I watched him against, it was a team recently. I think it was, I'm not sure who it was a couple of weeks ago. And he was very, very slow, and he put in a terrible tackle, which I thought, hold on a second, you were closer to the ball. How did this winger manage to outrun you and get to the ball first? And then that tackle was so bad that it made it look like it was 20 times worse, but it was just the fact that he was just too slow to it. So Cavani will know how to target someone.
He's very good at
however, yes, very well. That's why he's been at the top of the game.
Like the fact that he played against Burnley, a team he's probably never had to face before, like the type of team that he's never had to face before. And he dealt with Tarkowski, he dealt with Ben Mee in the rain at Turf Moor on a Tuesday night. So Edison Cavani can do it on a Tuesday night at Turf Moor, which is the new Premier League standard for tough games, basically. But yeah, with Anthony Martial, who's more of a winger, inside forward type player. I reckon he'll be playing on the left. I don't really want him to personally, but I think he'll be playing on the left, and he'll be looking to come in field. And he scored that obviously iconic goal, his first goal against Skirtle, and coming in from that left-hand side as well. So would you rather have Fabinho as at the right centre-back or the left centre-back for you?
Fabinho will definitely play on the left.
Okay.
He's been playing there for the past month or two now.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be Phillips, Williams, or Henderson will have to be a makeshift centre-back.
Yeah, he did that against one of the teams recently as well. Was it against Newcastle? That's it. That was surprising.
It was surprising. I think it's because of the fact that Phillips and Williams don't have the experience. And I personally think Henderson is going to start at centre-back due to the fact that Thiago is now fit. So that gives us options in the midfield now.
Brilliant. So before we move on to the midfield, just name your back five or your back line. How would you line up?
What I would probably choose, as much as I don't want it to be, in an ideal world, we both know Gomez and Van Dijk are a shoo-in.
We're not in an ideal world this time. We live in a pandemic world at the moment. With 3 lockdowns. With 3 lockdowns in Aminur. There's no such thing as an ideal world.
I know. So, goalkeeper and the fullbacks, they're obviously going to be Alisson, Trent, and Robertson. Right-sided centre-back will unfortunately have to be a makeshift Jordan Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
And then the left centre-back will be Fabinho. However, before we get to the midfield, I still want Jordan Henderson to play right centre-mid.
I understand completely. That's his natural position.
In my head, it just keeps, do I want Williams or do I want Henderson? Because I know Williams will get terrorised by Cavani. Like Cavani will make inside runs and then come out again and then go that way, then go that way. Williams will leave a huge chunk of space for Anthony Martial to fill in.
Yeah.
No one better than Bruno Fernandes currently in this league at this current moment to find a pass. There we go. So Jordan Henderson will be more disciplined. So I think the fact that he'll be more disciplined will mean Henderson has to start at centre-back.
Makes sense. For Man United, I'd say our defence can't change from the Burnley game. It honestly can't. Maybe Teja's coming in for Shaw, but Shaw's been pretty good so far. He's been pretty good. Yeah. And it's one of those things, like Luke Shaw's one of those players that has to play a number of games to get to his best form. He can't just come in and have a good game. He's not that kind of player. Wayne Rooney was that kind of player as well.
Yeah. And I think also with Luke Shaw, he needed a bit of healthy competition.
He really did. Brandon Williams just came in as a makeshift to cover for his injuries. He didn't really push him in any way.
Really. He was a right back, really. So Teja's coming in as a known left-sided fullback from Porto, was it?
Yeah, Porto. Like 15 million pounds or something like that. So again, healthy competition.
Exactly. So Teja's is quite known, he's got Champions League experience. So Shaw must have thought, hold on a second, I've got competition here. I need to up my game. I need to try staying fit, because there was a period where he was putting on a lot of weight, and he was just.
If you look at the end of last season as well, sorry to interrupt, but when you look at the 3 semi-finals we were playing, he wasn't in that Europa League final against Sevilla. He was playing left centre-back against Man City. Brandon Williams was playing left-back, and I'm not too sure about the Chelsea one, so I won't include that. But the fact that they had to make shift to a back 5 and he was a left-sided centre-back or not in the semi-final shows that we've kind of missed him as that proper left-back person as well. And to add to the healthy competition, David De Gea coming back with a vengeance, really. When you've got Dean Henderson coming back from Sheffield United, you've seen how bad Sheffield United are doing, going to how well Dean Henderson has been doing. But the fact that Dean Henderson's got limited opportunity, De Gea was never really going to get replaced by Romero, and I thought he's a fantastic player for us. But
Romero was class, in my opinion. He was probably the best number 2 in the league by far.
Yeah, probably in the world, I would say, being a little biased. Yeah, being a bit biased there. But I'd say Romero could easily have got, again, top 6, top 8 side as well. Could have been...
He'll easily get into Everton, in my opinion, better than Pickford.
Definitely. It's fantastic to see. But it's annoying to see Romero just left to the side. But my back 4 would be... I wouldn't go for a back 5. We've tried back 5 for the last 2-3 years against you at Anfield, and it hasn't worked. Under Mourinho and the Solskjaer, hasn't worked at all. So I'd go for the classic De Gea, Wan-Bissaka. He'll be one-on-one against Mane, so that'll be a good challenge for him. Maguire, Bailly, and Luke Shaw. And Luke Shaw, I have to say, had a fantastic game against Mohamed Salah when I went to watch Man United v Liverpool at Old Trafford like 2-3 years ago, and that was that game where we had loads of injuries. Like you had injuries, we had injuries, and there was like loads of subs. It was a 0-0 game, one of the most boring Man United Liverpool games I've ever seen. But
I think that was 18-19.
Yeah, it was 18-19. February or March that time, but it was crazy because you're just there like this is prime Mohamed Salah, and you won the Champions League I think that year as well, so it was literally prime Mohamed Salah, and he wouldn't let him pass. Bailly's been fantastic so far. He's just again made of glass, so we'll see if he makes it through the 90 minutes. And Harry Maguire again is going to be a bit slow against likes of Mane and Salah. We saw that against Neymar in the Champions League. We saw that against Arsenal earlier this season as well. But the fact that Bailly's next to him, Bailly always compensates for Maguire's lack of speed, which is something Lindelof couldn't do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my back 4 for the Man United team. Let's go on to midfield. So go ahead, Jordan Henderson. Do you want him in midfield, or is it literally going to...
I want him in midfield, but will it happen?
That's the question. I don't think it won't happen.
Well, holding midfield, number 6, that's a shoo-in. Thiago Alcantara.
Do tell us more about him. Like, we don't know enough about him.
Absolutely world-class. A prime example of his world-class ability is the Villa game last week.
Oh my God.
We were playing...
Aminur, why are you saying that? Why are you saying... You're playing against kids in that game. You could have done so much better.
Exactly. That's where I have to talk about how great Thiago is. Because you've got Mane and Salah playing. They done nothing. Though they both scored, Thiago came on for Jordan Henderson and just dictated the play, took the people on. We ain't got a centre midfielder other than him and Naby Keita, who is also injury prone, that take on their man, Glass, that take on their opponent and find the killer pass. Thiago Alcantara can do that, and I'm hoping he'll dictate the play, and his long-range passing is amazing. Short pass is amazing. He's just world class.
He is one of the best midfielders in world football, and it's just annoying that, like, on our podcast we've said recently, it's annoying when you see players come into the league and they don't do well or they get injured and you don't see them properly, and even if they play for a rival team and is wearing the Liverpool shirt, which pains me to my core, and he's one of those players I wish was at Man United, because we were in for him once upon a time when Sir Alex Ferguson was manager.
I remember.
And I was like, he's still a young player, but he's still a good player. And this, that,
just when he left Barca, wasn't it?
Went to... I forgot
when he went Bayern.
I think he went to someone else before Bayern. I might be forgetting. If he went before Bayern, then yeah, it was a Bayern one.
He might have had a little loan spell somewhere.
It could have been somewhere, but basically like 2011, 2012 era.
Yeah. But yeah, Thiago, shoe-in. Number 6, holding. We've also got... Right, so Gini Wijnaldum's definitely going to play.
How's he been this season? I haven't seen much of him, to be fair.
Wijnaldum's been really good.
He's good against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Is he playing against Crystal Palace? I think he was.
Yeah. He's so consistent. The fact that our team gets injured quite a lot, he's been the only midfielder that has not missed a minute.
Yeah.
And sometimes availability is more important than ability. What's the point of having ability when you can't even play and keep getting injured? Prime example is Naby Keita. Eric Bailly. Prime example for us as a centre midfielder, Naby Keita.
Spent a lot of money on him.
Naby Keita will easily get into our starting 11 if he could stay fit like Wijnaldum. Unfortunately, he's not fit enough. So that's why Wijnaldum's availability is such an underrated quality of his. So
he'll be matched against likes of probably Fred or McTominay in midfield, and they'll be having some key battles in the midfield, gaining possession. Battles,
definitely. They're kind of like the dogged player that love recycling possession, keeping the back line intact, keeping their defense solid. So that takes me to the next midfielder. Unfortunately, Naby Keita's injured. Jordan Henderson will probably have to be in centre-back position, which leaves us with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Curtis Jones.
Who would you start?
It will have to be Curtis Jones.
Really? Not Oxlade-Chamberlain?
Yeah. Oxlade-Chamberlain has just come back from a big injury himself.
Again,
yes, he has played. Exactly. Yes, he has played a couple of games, but it's more cameo appearances where he's been put on for the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Against Villa, I think he started. No, he didn't start against Villa, but he was on the bench. But against Newcastle, he started, but couldn't really impact the game because it was a tough evening, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so it'll probably have to be Curtis Jones. However, before I continue, there might be a formation alter.
Would you alter it? Or do you think it will just be altered for the Man United game?
It might just be altered for the Man United game.
Okay.
But that would mean the holding two will need to be very, very solid. And if it is altered to a 4-2-3-1, this means that it's going to be just Wijnaldum and Thiago, which means Shaqiri starts on the right.
I wouldn't have suspected that at all. Shaqiri is a right winger starting in the biggest of games for Liverpool.
Well, to be fair, whenever we play a 4-2-3-1, Shaqiri is quality. He does so much. And also, we've been a bit lackluster in front of goal. We haven't been scoring much. Mane and Salah are blanking. Firmino, he's not really a renowned scorer, is he?
And Jota's been injured as well. He's been a revelation this season.
Injured. Exactly. Jota's injured. Origi's more or less his time's up.
His time's up for years, but he just keeps getting those every goal every now and then, and is good on the bench.
Exactly, yeah. And we need someone that is going to create. And who's going to create? We need when someone just picks out that odd pass out of nowhere, that takes risks. We need someone to start. So it's not going to be exactly a right winger if Shaqiri starts. It's more like
an inside forward. Yeah.
When I used to play FIFA, I used to have Ram, Cam, and Lam.
So he's playing Ram. Shaqiri's playing
He'll
Ram.
be playing Ram. Cam would be Firmino, and Salah would be up front.
It'd be the Lamb, not the goat, but the Lamb.
Yeah. Mane will be the Lamb.
Brilliant.
But
how would you set it up?
Start,
would you set up with a 3 or would you go for the 4-2-3-1?
I'll start with the 3.
The 3. Trusted and tried, really.
Trusted and trialed, and we need some sort of strength in the midfield. We need to have numbers in the midfield because you can't let Bruno Fernandes just find space in the hole. You got Pogba there, who's on form right now. He's going to be doing box to box work. That means you're going to either have Fred or McTominay or Matic, one of the 3.
Definitely not Van der Beek, unfortunately, but
that's a story we'll come to in a second.
That's true. But yeah, just confirm your midfield 3 for us, or your midfield 5.
So you'll probably have to be Thiago, Wijnaldum, and Jones.
As well.
I don't want it to be Jones, but it's going to have to be Jones. He's quality, but is Man United a game 2 ahead for him?
I don't think so. But then again, I'm wearing the Man United badge, so I don't think so. But yeah, coming on to Man United's midfield, it's going to be a tricky one for me because we could always go for the tried and tested McTominay, Fred, and Bruno Fernandes as the midfield 3. But for me, I really think it would be good to see Pogba on the left as well. That's why I mentioned at the beginning, I don't want Martial starting on the left because I'd rather see. I want to see Matic play. I think Matic is fantastic with Maguire and Bailly. He always goes into that back 3 type thing as well. And then I would be starting Fred because, again, Fred versus Wijnaldum will be a big battle on Sunday. And I think both of them have just got legs for days and they're just energetic as hell. And they'll get the odd pass through and every now and then they'll just probably get a yellow card just to slow play down. And they're really good at that. So Fred, Matic for me, and Bruno Fernandes, obviously. What more can you say about him that no one else in any football podcast or show or whatever said about them already? He's amazing. And he's someone that I hope will stand up to the test. He's stand up to every test so far, barring the semi-finals that he's been in. He did really well against Man City last season, but hasn't really performed in the big games. And that's something I'll come on to at the end of our little formation thing. But Pogba on the left, I think he's just been a revelation of that freedom. And I think it will be fun to see Pogba, Fernandes, and Matic again in that midfield. Fred will always be doing that, the hard yards going around. He's a hard runner that way. But it will again just lead me to playing Rashford on the right, unfortunately, and Cavani up front, Martial and Greenwood on the bench, and whoever else on the bench. But I thought I'd maybe just finish up there with a 5 in midfield. So Matic, Fred, Bruno Fernandes in the middle, Pogba on the left, free roll as he does, and Rashford as well, always trying to go behind Robertson.
Yeah. I would have thought Fred and McTominay would start because they've got a very good chemistry together.
They probably will, but the fact that I want to see Matic playing this big game, and he's been on form this season, not on form these last few games as well. McTominay hasn't really, he scored a goal against Watford, which is great, but I think after that Leeds game, he's not been the best. He's been misplacing passes. He hasn't been his normal self, and you could probably do with a rest. And I mean, you got a rest against Burnley, but literally come back in for the Fulham game next week where you can, again, just take on their 5-man midfield or whoever. They play so many in midfield for them, but again, that's another story. But yeah, Cavani needs to lead the line. He needs to show his experience, and Martial will be a really good impact sub. Greenwood as well, Van der Beek as well. But I just want to see Fred running the midfield down, so just tiring out Thiago, probably man mark Wijnaldum or Thiago. Matic will sit in the middle of the park. He'll allow Bruno Fernandes and Pogba to be free. Shaw will push on from the left. Wan-Bissaka is probably one of the worst attacking fullbacks in the top 6, I would say. He's a fantastic defender, but okay, he gets across here and there, but I don't see him as someone that's going to threat from that right-hand side. Robertson and Mane would be attacking him more than Wan-Bissaka will be attacking that way. That's personally how I see it. And Cavani against an inexperienced back line, he'll be someone that will, again, slow down the game. He'll probably try and nab a goal, and it'll remind me a lot against, we played against West Ham, and again, I think he started that game, but it's just the fact that you can play against a midfield where you've got Rice and Souček in the midfield, but when you've got Wijnaldum, Thiago, and Curtis Jones is probably the more defensive of the three, but Thiago sits in there more. Is that correct? Would you say?
Curtis Jones is the most attacking of the three.
The attacker, that's one. I haven't been watching Curtis Jones, so I'm not going to lie about it. So that's more or less my team, and I'm guessing you'd finish off with Mane, Salah, Firmino.
That's the three that have been doing the job for the past few years. So, yeah.
Tried and trusted, as always.
Tried and trusted.
So
I would like Salah and Mane to drift in more and try looking at attacking Bailly and Maguire.
For me, they should look at how PSG did that when they had Neymar and Mbappe coming in properly as well. And they had that freedom to just drift in, and they had their defenders just, again, not always attacking, but you had like Guy pressing back, and Herrera came on afterwards. Marquinhos was there just covering the defense so they could be free in that. And Maguire doesn't know whether to go forward or stay back all the time. So that will be something that you could exploit. Personally, I think Man United could exploit that right-hand side of your defense. Alexander-Arnold against Pogba, maybe, like aerial battles. And what was it? Williams, that you got centre back as well? Cavani could not pace him, but again, out-muscle him and tire him out. Bring Martial on soon. Could be an option.
Yeah. Well, it will be a very exciting game. Top of the league clash.
And so again, it's been years since we've been able to say that top of the league clash between Man United and Liverpool.
It's been a very long time. Probably last time I remember was 2009-10 season.
Yeah. The 2009-10 season. 08-09 as well, but 2009-2010 was when Chelsea ended up winning the league, but we were still up there competing for titles as well, which is crazy. But yeah, just what we'll do is if you can just tell me a few of your footballing memories of the Liverpool v Man United fixture, so not the one at Old Trafford, the one at Anfield. And you'll have a lot more than I will of good and fond memories, really. So by all means, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, one of my favourite ones, which still hurts me to this day because of how the season ended, was when we beat you in the 13-14 season when it was 3-0 at Anfield. No, it was that was at Old Trafford.
That was at Old Trafford, yeah. You beat us, I think, 2-0 in Anfield. That was in August of the season.
That was, yes, I remember. That season, painful, the way we lost. I remember the 18-19 season when Shaqiri just came on and scored 2 goals.
And you got Mourinho sacked.
And that got Mourinho sacked, so you should really be thanking us.
You got sacked on my birthday as well, which is really funny because I got a text from Man United saying, "Happy birthday, Hamza," before being a Man United member. And then like an hour or two later, Mourinho gets sacked and it's all over the news. I'm like, this is amazing. It shouldn't have been. I never celebrate seeing a manager get sacked mid-season. And I'm a big fan of Jose Mourinho, but that third season was just awful for us and for the players, and it just needed to change, unfortunately. But
yeah. My favourite memory out of all of them is last season's 2-0 win at Anfield. By far.
That's crazy.
That's when we started believing.
That was again in January last year, I think.
Yeah, that's when we started believing. We were solid 15, 20 points clear. Alisson saves the ball in the 92nd minute, whacks it out to Salah. Salah holds off Dan James, scores, takes his top off. Alisson comes running. That's when I started thinking, you know what? I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but we're going to finally win it.
Yeah.
We're finally going to win it. And COVID came, and I thought, oh no, they're not going to null and void it, are they? But luckily...
That would have been the dream. That would have been the dream.
If it was null and void, I probably would have given up football for life. I wouldn't be able to hack it. I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that would have been a fun thing to do. Oh man. But yeah, that is probably one of my best memories because that's when I've actually felt something inside thinking, you know what, we're going to do this. Like, we're actually going to win it.
Because you don't get that feeling in the cup competition. So it's probably nice for you to feel that because in the cup competition, there's always, you could lose or you could win. Like the game against West Ham in 2006, you thought you could have lost. The game in Istanbul, obviously. Game in Greece, obviously. But these things, you're like, it can go either way. But when you're in the league, you've got that comfortable points to see.
Yeah, you got that security.
Yeah, you got that assurance, really, of seeing it.
Yeah, yeah,
which is great. For me, my favourite memories of Anfield have been very limited over my lifetime. My first few would probably be seeing Diego Forlan score 2 against Jersey Dudek. You know what? I think we're messed up today. I've worn my home shirt and you've worn your away shirt. We're playing at Anfield. I should really buy an away shirt. I should get that zebra shirt as well.
I should have worn my home one, but my home one's from the 13-14 season. That gives me nightmares.
Yeah, that must give you PTSD as well. That whole Gerrard slip, but we'll skip over that.
Let's leave it.
We'll leave that one. But no, Juanfield was very fun for me to watch. Seeing Louis van Gaal go to Anfield 2 seasons in a row and win. That's when I was really annoyed when he was sacked as well, because I'm like, Man United don't dominate at Anfield ever, besides those 2 seasons. Under Sir Alex, we didn't do that. Moyes, we definitely do that. Mourinho, we didn't do that. And Solskjaer, we haven't done that. But Van Gaal, we did. And we did amazing then, because Juan Mata scored that goal from that pass through from Herrera. Gerrard got sent. Yeah, he scored that in the second half as well. But before that, Stevie G got sent off for that high foot on Ander Herrera.
He literally just came on and got the red card in 30 seconds, didn't he?
And that was like the emergence of Jordan Henderson for me. The fact that he was like, oh, for God's sake, our leader's gone, so now I have to be the leader. And he just kept building from there, which is fantastic to see. And we've bantered over the years of Jordan Henderson being a waste of money, same as Stuart Downing and Andy Carroll, but he's proved me wrong. And I'm glad to see it, because it's going to benefit England and it's benefited Liverpool to the way it is. But another memory for me, what would I say? I mean, Juanfield, that overhead kick was insane, but seeing Wayne Rooney score against them that season afterwards, when it was a 1-0 win and he just scored like a little tap in from a corner, and you're just there like, again, this isn't the best Liverpool team, but even the worst of Liverpool teams have beaten a prime Man United team 2-0 or 2-1 at home. And that time when Torres scored and David and Gog scored and Reina ran from the back as well. Nightmares on Monday morning going to school that day. And again, you never want at school to like banter a joke straight away. You'd always leave it and let it mellow for a bit, which really annoyed me. I'm just like, I can see your face, just get it over and done with and it'll be good. But you're just there like, nah, I'll wait for the right time. And it's just awful. But I don't think it will be a big result for Man United personally. That's my prediction. I think it will be a 2-2 draw or a 1-1 draw, but I think we won't lose. I think Solskjaer will set up not to lose and probably break on the counter. His first initial tactic when he came to Man United was to play on the counter and break from them. But unless there's like a dodgy VAR decision and Bruno Fernandes gets the last minute penalty and Klopp goes ballistic, I don't think we're going to win at Anfield, because I'm never confident going to Anfield. That and Stamford Bridge are the worst places for me to go to. Even without fans, I don't think we're going to be doing well.
Well, we haven't lost at Anfield in a very, very, very long time.
It's like 3 years now?
Yep.
I can't remember the last team that beat you as well. I mean, you lost against Atletico Madrid, but in the league, you haven't lost in a long time.
Yeah, in the league, we ain't lost. So, and also your top 6 performances in this season haven't been the best.
No, not at all. I can agree with you, and it's just facts. What drew to City, lost to Arsenal at home. We lost ridiculously to Spurs, Jose Mourinho Spurs 6-1. We drew to Leicester. I consider them top 6 as they finished 5th last season. And Liverpool we haven't played. Chelsea we drew as well. But in those games, it always goes on, like all the pundits and the media always go into Man United. But the fact that Arsenal didn't set up to win when they played against us, City really didn't challenge us in the league, and Chelsea really didn't challenge us in the league that time as well. It kind of got annoying for me when I'm like, it's not always about us trying to go for the win. I know we're Man United and we're this, that, and the other, but this team is at their best on the counter-attack. That goal for Rashford against Brighton earlier this season, just counter-attacking is prime Man United, and the goal against, I can name so many goals against them, but I think that's the best way to beat Liverpool personally on the counter-attack. I don't think we'll be winning the midfield battle properly. That's why I'm like, get Matic in, get Fred in, Pogba in as well, make it a 4 if it needs be. But that's personally how I see the game going. I see Robertson and Alexander-Arnold troubling Maguire and Bailly a lot. You probably needed a physical presence in there. Even Origi in the last 20, 30 minutes, if he comes on, will be a physical presence that will challenge us as well. Because again, last season we lost to a Van Dijk header in that first half as well. Physical presence, he just dominated everyone. What about you? How do you see the tactical game going personally?
I'm not sure what to expect because
you said 2 formations it could be, which is crazy.
Exactly. Once I see the formations, I'll have a little rough idea of what the game might pan out like.
How would you set it up? How would you go for the kill against Man United?
I would just play our natural game, which is possession, Thiago means even more possession.
And you got your Geigen press as well, so pressing from the front,
exactly.
as you love to do.
Exactly. So Mane, Firmino, Salah will press from the front. Gini, Wijnaldum will be recycling possession. So once he gets the ball back, intercepts, Thiago will have the ball now. Thiago is always head up, forward. None of that sideways stuff, none of that backward stuff. He gets the ball, he moves it forward. Mane and Salah are very good at making runs inside.
That run against Chelsea that Mane done as well, you see it all on the internet now of him just coming in field. And yeah, ever since then, I know Wan-Bissaka can handle him, but you can only handle a top talent like that for so long. So it's going to be crazy to see how he does.
100%. Exactly, yeah. So it could go two ways, because if we start the young lads, one of the young lads at centre-back, you guys can score heavy. However, if our front three are firing on all cylinders, then I can't see us not score. And they're always up for a challenge whenever it's the big teams. I've realised that our team always has extra energy when we play against the top sides.
It's annoying to see, because that was like Man United of this era, basically. But yeah, we've only done that in handfuls over the last few years as well, depending on the manager. Like PSG, for example, big game. But not really many other games like that. Man City at home last season, big game, 1-2-0. Stamford Bridge, we don't win at Stamford Bridge, but we won there last season as well. But it's crazy to think that Liverpool have such a hold over Manchester United over the last 3-4 years as well. Haven't won at Anfield since 2016? Yeah, 2016 really, and we've only scored 1 or 2 goals in the league against Anfield. I think it was Jesse Lingard when we lost 3-1 that game, but we hadn't scored under Mourinho's first 2 games. We hadn't scored under Solskjaer. I personally don't see a win unless we do something out of the ordinary. But I don't see a way that Man United can convincingly win. It will have to be a scrappy win, if best.
If you win, it will be a scrappy one. But I can't see you guys winning because of our good record at Anfield. Klopp will be fuming at the players for their past few performances. So he will be digging into them, especially in training. He'll be telling them to do X, Y, and Z that they were so good at before, but they'll need to start doing that again, because the performances against Newcastle and Southampton was not good. And they should be routine wins, really.
The Southampton one especially, I thought. Like you had the chances, and Newcastle, when I was listening to on the radio on the way back home, but I was just there like, okay, this is going to go in. Now this is going, and you know how radio commentary is. You're just there like, oh, it's going to happen. And even the commentator was like, we don't get this happy normally, but it's odd to see Liverpool squander so many chances and half chances.
Exactly.
I don't think they'll do that against Man United, because again, they're big game players now. Thiago, Henderson, Salah, Mane, and again, it might just be just hyping up your team and hyping up your ego. But if Man United can't stop them now, I don't see, besides Man City, really anyone challenging Liverpool for the league. And unfortunately, that could be something bad for us, because again, we're 3 points clear, but we're not going to stay there. Southampton have been top, Everton have been top, Spurs have been top, Leicester have been top as well, Liverpool have been top, Man United have been top. And you're just there like, it's a topsy-turvy season. So I don't see us holding that lead.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if we get a win, we're top by goal difference, but we're still top. Do you get like, this season's all over the place, but I personally do think that City are going to win it.
I think Liverpool are going to win it, unfortunately. I think City will get there to like April, May, but I think Liverpool will just win it. Look how the enthusiasm has just gone from my face.
I think if we win it, we need to get a centre-back. We must. But like, I've been reading reports, Eder Militao is available on a 6-month loan. That's a no-brainer.
For me, like I mentioned to you before, I'm a big fan of Kyle Tomori. I think Tomori could easily go on loan to Liverpool, but Chelsea won't let him because they're a rival. There's Upamecano from Leipzig, who again is a fantastic centre-back. You've got Militao as well. Even going to, I'm a big fan of Bednarek and Vestergaard as well. Why not go back to Southampton, do some shopping, and again 30 million down to St Mary's, and you'll get him. I reckon you would. But even Fabian Schär from Newcastle is a really good centre back, but he's just isn't a crap team as well. Fabian Schär for me.
Yeah, but the thing is, Klopp would probably ideally want to buy someone that will be there for the future, who he can build. If he gets Eder Militao, which is for an initial 6-month loan, let's say, yeah, we've got the option to buy. But does Klopp see him fit? I personally think anything is better than our current centre-back pairing.
I don't see why Militao won't improve your centre-backs, because even if you get him fit, and let's say next season you've got Militao, Gomez, Matip, Van Dijk, who wouldn't want those 4 centre-backs in their team?
Exactly.
They're all pushing to be next to Van Dijk in the team, and they could easily just learn from one another and become a force, because when Man United won the league or when Man City won the league, they've always had 4 proper good centre-backs. And Man City didn't win the league last season because they didn't replace Vincent Kompany in time, and now they have a Ruben Dias, which is amazing to see, because he looks like the cheapest chips bargain you'll ever see, and it's fantastic. And
we thought Vincent Kompany's replacement would have been Laporte.
And now you've got Ake like bench warming as well, who everyone was like, oh yeah, they bought a centre-back finally. But Laporte and Diaz could be fantastic, but Stones and Diaz is
a wicked combination right now, isn't it?
And the fact that we've got John Stones in form before the Euros, what more can you ask for?
Exactly. So Stones with Maguire, I'm guessing.
Probably Stones with Maguire.
Which was the World Cup centre-back pair, which added Kyle Walker as a makeshift centre-back as well, and part of the 3.
Yeah, it was something like that. But it was all well and good. But yeah, my predictions for the game would be 2-2. And what would you say the prediction for the game would be?
2-1 Liverpool.
Was that 2-1, sorry?
2-1 Liverpool.
Unfortunately, it could be the way. I'm not a very optimistic Man United fan. I'm more of a pessimistic when it comes to Anfield. So that's how it's going to be.
I am more optimistic since the 17-18 season.
I was more optimistic when we were wearing this shirt. And even then, we lost 3-1 to you at Anfield as well. That Dirk Kuyt hat trick in that season.
That's when Suarez done that crazy, mazy run, wasn't it?
And it was like, I think Carragher like ruined Nani as well, which was awful. But that's more Liverpool v Man United memories at Anfield, just pain in my face. But no, thank you very much, Aminur, for being on, and thank you for coming on at short notice. And who knows, maybe you'll come back in the future for another Liverpool preview.
I would love to.
Actually, FA Cup next week. Want to do it again?
Why not? I'm more than happy to.
It'll be fun. It'll be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
See you in a bit. Bye.